Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Basketball. I'm sitting down with Louisiana Basketball assistant coach Kevin Johnson. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Krista?
I'm doing really well. So I want to jump right in and talk about Friday's game against Georgia State. It was a nationally televised game. You were playing the #1 team in the Sun Belt. So what was the preparation like going into that game?
Preparation for this game is always intense, but particularly for this game because we had lost to Georgia State in Atlanta, and we really needed to try to turn our conference season around after losing our last few games in a row. So we were really intense, and our guys were really focused, and thought they did a tremendous job executing the game plan.
Like you said, you guys did struggle in the past, the last few games. So what were the nerves like? How was the team feeling going into the game?
Well, those guys know. We have some guys who have some really good basketball IQs, and they know we had to do some things better to prepare ourselves for this game. And I'm proud of them. They were really on top of their preparation, and I think it showed.
Yeah, it did. So when you walked into the game, there was a lot of excitement in the air, a lot of fans. Everyone was in all black supporting you guys. So how did that feel?
You could definitely feel the energy in the building, and our guys fed off of that, and I think that was critical in us getting off to a really good start.
So you said you guys got off to a really good start. Talk a little bit more about that. What are some of the pivotal moments within that game that you think helped make you get a good start in the beginning?
Well, first of all was the focus from our leader and point guard, Marcus Stroman. You could tell early on that he was on top of our offense and defensive game plan. And it's always nice when you make shots early. Cedric Russell knocked down an early three and kind of got him off to a good start. And Ja'Keenan Gann has been there solid, steady for us all year long. But we're gonna go where the other guys step up to take us because he's been there all year long.
So going in through the first half, you said you had great players like Ja'Keenan step up, Cedric Russell. I mean, is that something that you guys prepare for within practice? You wanted to go straight in and make those big shots, or what was the game plan like?
We really wanted to share the ball, but we wanted to attack Georgia State. And the slogan we've been preaching to our guys is to play inside out. Let's go to the basket first and then take the rhythm three-point shots. And I thought they did a great job doing that in the first half.
Yeah, so ending the beginning of the first half, you guys are up, came back to the locker room. What was the talk like? What did you guys talk about? How did you motivate them to go into the second half of the game?
The first thing we did was we talked about and we complimented our guys for really following the script. And we focused on the things that we did well. And we tried to prepare them and tell them, hey, look, brace up. Georgia State's got a good team. They're coming in the second half. And they certainly did that, end up taking the lead.
Yeah, they did take the lead in the second half. They went on a run where they made 21 points, 21 unanswered points. You guys actually had 2 timeouts before you were able to make a basket. So what did you talk about within those timeouts? You
know, just trusting the process, staying with our offense, being focused, taking care of the ball, and making sure we could get some stops. Trajan Wesley had a tremendous second half for us. He struggled in the first half, but he came back in the second half, redeemed himself with some really critical defensive plays and made some good baskets for us. Yeah, Trajan Wesley did really well. He's a young player and a freshman, so how was it seeing him grow throughout the year and then that game itself? You know, it's been fun. It always is fun to watch freshmen grow. They come in with these lofty expectations, and then when they get here, they realize, you know what, this is not as easy as I thought. But he's had some ups, he's had some downs, he's missed some games with an injury, an ankle injury, but I was so proud to see him really redeem himself in the second half the other night. Yeah, and like you said, the second half you guys started off a little slow, but then you got DeMarcus Simons in foul trouble. How big of an advantage did that help you guys kind of take the lead at the end? Well, when he got in foul trouble, the first thing he had to do was come out of the game. And when you have a dynamic player like DeMarcus Simons who can score the ball so well, it gives your guys a little mental edge when he's not on the floor. So I think we took advantage of that the other night. So how did you guys cope with Ja'Keenan being out the last couple of minutes of the game? It was close, so how did you make up for that rim protection? We knew the time was short. I really would have been worried if the game had gone in the overtime. But our guys did a good job in following the game plan. We switched on ball screens, and we wanted to make them take a contested shot. And we did that, and the shot was missed. So sometimes that's the way they end. Yeah, so after the game, I know they waited for Coach Marlin to come back in after he did his interview, and there was excitement in the locker room. They were just cheering for him. So what was that like? How did it feel? We have pretty good post-game celebrations after a win. And as much fun as these guys have together in here after a win, it just makes you want to win all your games. And that's fun for me to see. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, women's head coach Garry Brodhead joins me to recap the week. We later showcase Ragin Cajun softball led by head coach Jerry Glasgow.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Crunchy Fritos, warm, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents.
It's like a warm chili cheese Fritos family reunion.
Yeah, I feel warm just thinking about it.
That's the chili. I feel it too.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Being a Ragin Cajun means wearing red on Fridays, supporting our sports teams by going to the basketball games, the football games. Being a Ragin Cajun means saying hi to your friends when you see them around campus, or saying hi to people that you've never seen before on campus, because that's who we are.
The atmosphere here is electric. I mean, we have the best fans here, and the energy around campus is just the same. You know, those are the same people that come to your games and support you. The student section is packed almost every game, and to have that so much support, it just feels good that, you know, people actually care. You're not just going out there and playing basketball and just you and your teammates. You actually have people that are behind you and want to see you do well.
And we have many activities and events for students that are freshmen that help get them to build their Ragin Cajun spirit. Then they start going to the activities that all the other students are participating in, like homecoming and lanyap day, and different things within their major. And all of these things really get students start feeling what it's like to be a Ragin Cajun. Not just with athletics, but also with just the feel of what it's like in being the Ragin Cajun family.
So whether you're interested in athletics or academics or art or orchestra, as long as you're doing what you love in this university, you're making this university proud and you have Ragin Cajun spirit.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Basketball. I'm sitting down with Louisiana head coach Garry Brodhead. How are you?
Good, doing good.
Good. So you guys just played Georgia Southern on Thursday, and you guys started off really well. You had a great start to the game. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I thought we did start pretty good and played pretty good. They shot the ball extremely well the first half, and we had to make some adjustments to kind of slow them down. But I thought at times we had 4 freshmen out there with a sophomore, and still young. But I thought we played pretty good on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. But to come out the second half, I thought we did a pretty good job of kind of slowing them down.
So towards the end of the game, you guys were down by 13, but you really put in a great last-minute effort. You guys were able to gain momentum at the end and make the game really close. So do you think you guys do better under pressure?
Well, sometimes we play better from behind. I think there's no pressure on you, so you be a little bit more aggressive. And I thought that's what we were. We were able to kind of press toward the end and kind of pull ourselves back into the game. And I thought that, again, for a young group, they did a great job. I thought Brandy Williams did a great job of face guarding their point guard and kind of eliminating her touches. So there was a lot of positives that came away from that game.
Yeah, so speaking of Brandy Williams, she scored over 20 points in that game, and then again on Saturday against Georgia State. So just talk about her. She's growing this year. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, I mean, you can see some confidence in her growing. She kind of let the game come to her. She's a very good scorer in, jump shots, threes, and all that, and she's been shooting it pretty good. But, I think she doesn't get enough credit on the defensive side, too. So, just all her game is really, really improving, and every game it seems like you see more confidence in her.
Yeah, so Georgia State, when you guys played them on Saturday, made the first 5 points of the game, but you guys were able to catch up with them, and the lead went back and forth throughout the entirety of the game. So why do you think it switched so much and you guys struggled to just maintain the lead?
Well, again, they hit some threes. I thought they hit some big threes toward the end of the game, and we made a few turnovers that, seemed to hurt us a little bit. But, I thought we recovered, and at the end of the game, we had a chance to tie it on the last shot and just barely missed it. So, again, a little short-handed, Skylar Goodwin didn't play, and then Ty Doucette was limited to 20-something minutes where usually she plays 30-something minutes. So, You know, and then I think some key rebounds we missed it. But overall, I thought we played really well both on the offensive side and defensive side.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, Sky wasn't able to play, Skylar wasn't able to play, and Ty couldn't play as much as she could, but Andrea Canoyer stepped up, and she's a freshman. So what are you excited to see her with as the season goes on for next year?
Well, you know, I think all the guards, you know, I think all of them really stepped up that Sky's out, you know, and, you know, just taking care of the ball. Our turnovers are down a little bit more than from the beginning of the season. So, and that's what we want to take away, get them more comfortable in playing with each other. You know, everybody will be back for next year's team. So, you know, it's just trying to get them comfortable with each other on the offensive and defensive side.
So like I said, they were really good games and they were close to the end. So what improvements are you making for this weekend playing ULM?
Well, I think we just got to kind of grow on it. You know, we talked about every step that we make, you know. I like what Tony Robichaux says, you know, it's an invisible climb. Can we continue to improve on the little things like taking care of the ball, rebounding, you know, and just, you know, not having those turnovers that really, really hurt us along the game. You know, most of the time we'll play good for 3 quarters and we'll have that 1 quarter that we kind of lack. We need to put all 4 quarters together.
Yeah, so you guys are also preparing for your first ever walk for breast cancer, which just goes perfectly because Valentine's Day is coming up and you did lose your wife about 3 years ago. So talk about that and how excited you guys are to do this first walk.
You know, we've been doing the pink game for us here at UL since we've been here for 7 years, and it's been really good for us. And we just been talking about trying to incorporate a walk with it so we can have more survivors and, you know, impact more people, you know, because it's all about awareness for us as a program. I feel as an institution here at UL, we need to be able to help the community be aware of this dreaded disease of cancer and trying to get rid of it, you know, and finding education is one of the ways that I think we can help people. And so that's what we're doing. You know, this walk is going to be about not only educating people, but it's also going to provide, my wife has Andrea Brodhead Foundation with UL, and all it is all the monies go to a student maybe with cancer or a family that has cancer to educate, to help them get a scholarship to educate them. So it's a combination of an institution and a program and a community coming together. And I think that's one of the ways that we can do it. You know, this walk could be really special, not only for my family, but for everybody else's family that's impacted.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, Dan McDonald and Gerald Broussard recap Louisiana softball's dominant weekend, and head coach Jerry Glasgow opens up about the support he's received from the community during a very difficult time.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajuns spirit goes beyond athletics.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
The 2019 Sun Belt Basketball Championships, where spirit flows, our passion shows, our pride grows, where champions rise above. At Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, presented by First Bank and Trust, it's the Sun Belt Men's and Women's Basketball Championships. Contact your local ticket office today.
Louisiana's Ragin Cajun softball team starts out its season in a big way at Lamson Park. They sweep through their first 4 games, their first 4 outings in the Ragin Cajun Classic, and they do it in very impressive style. I'm Dan McDonald, along with my partner Gerald Broussard. And Gerald, there were some questions about whether this team would step up early. They've had a lot of distractions early in the year. Obviously, one major distraction with the tragic loss of Cajun assistant coach Jerry Ann Glasgow, Coach Jerry Glasgow's daughter. But it hasn't affected them on the field, obviously, through those first 4 tournament games.
Well, and this is a team that understands adversity. Albeit we have a lot of new players from this team. This is a team coming into last year was dealing with a lot of adversity at that time. Total different at adverse situations, but with Coach Glasgow, with his family, with this team rallying behind it, and being shorthanded on the coaching staff, as well as, it's just a tough situation. But they've rallied, they've fought, they've competed, in the circle, they've competed in the batting box, and it's good. It's a good ball club right now.
Right now, through 4 games, going into the Monday night doubleheader against a very good Cal team, Cajuns have outscored their opponents 51-0 through those 4 games. They've hit 7, make that 8 home runs as a team, and the pitching staff has given up a total of 2 hits, including 2 no-hitters.
Yeah, and I'd like to say playing really good defense.
The numbers
but
are just crazy.
It's gaudy. Doesn't even begin to describe what it is. I mean, just not knowing if this team was going to have pop. Yeah, they got pop. Understanding that this team can run. Well, they can really run. And then just being able to keep the ball in play. Are you going to have a second pitcher? Well, you just might have a second pitcher. And I know the competition level is going to get better, but right now, that's what you want to see when you have a talent advantage.
You talked about the pitching, and I know the gaudy offensive numbers sort of push that aside a little bit, but Summer Ellison, the Cajuns knew what they had with her, and she's been spectacular at the start of the year with 2 very easy wins, a pair of 1-hitters. But Kendra Lamb, freshman from Australia, has come on and thrown 2 back-to-back 5-inning no-hitters. She's only given up 3 base runners. All of those comes on walks, and she has not allowed a ball out of the infield in 2 games.
Well, and all the numbers you mentioned earlier, that's another one. I mean, if you're playing outfield and Kendra's pitching, you just shouldn't take a seat. I mean, the only person in the outfield that touched the ball today was Ariel Mass shagging down a foul ball that stayed in play. Not another ball was handled by an outfielder. I take that back. We had an errant throw by the catcher where Hudak had to make a play recovering an errant throw. So not a ball was fielded off a bat of an Islander today.
Now, the Cajuns are going to face better competition,
sure.
and they will face better competition as they go along in the season. They've got Oklahoma in the preseason. They've got a good Oregon State team in the pre-conference season, and they've got the Sun Belt Conference season going that'll be coming up starting in March. But right now, this is a team that has been just absolutely dominant through the first weekend of the season, and I'm not surprised that they've been successful. I think I'm surprised that they have been as error-free and mistake-free and so focused as they've been through the first weekend.
Well, and started the year with a win against a tournament team in Fordham. Now you got Cal coming up. That'll lead you into some better competition, but I agree with you. I mean, to say that the Cajuns would have done this, I'd have been shocked.
Cajuns are 4-0 heading into the solid Monday doubleheader against a very good Cal team, and then they will be turning their focus to a second home tournament when they host the Louisiana Classics next weekend. But if they continue to play like this, it's going to be a very good season for Cajun fans.
Well, Coach stepped up. He said if they don't go to the World Series, they being his Cajun team, don't go to the World Series, he will feel like he let them down. And to this point, they're looking like they may be a World Series team.
Louisiana has done it through the first 4 games of the year. They win their first 4 games in the Ragin Cajuns Classic. For my partner, Gerald Broussard, I'm Dan McDonald.
Jerry Ann, you bring her in, coaching her as a little girl, and now volunteer coach. She was about to embark on a new season and started working with a lot of your players. What was her impact immediately that you saw when she first joined the team?
You know, it was a father's dream, I guess, to get a coach with your daughter. And so, you know, we talked about it when I got the job. And she was working with autistic kids. That was her other love, was she loved working with autistic kids. And I'd encourage her not to go into coaching, to go to work and spend a year or two with autistic kids, and then if she wanted to coach after that, she would know. And so in the fall of 2016, I guess it was, or 17, 2 years ago in the fall, she was, for her first year, no softball, just autistic kids, and working in the Center for Autism. And she called me and said, "Man, I'm so glad I did this. This is what I love it. I'm doing good. I'm not missing softball much." Then when season started in the spring, the college season, they asked her to volunteer at junior college and work with their pitchers, and then she ended up working with some high school pitchers on the weekend. She'd work with them on Saturday, and she's like, "Dad, I love my working with the autistic kids, but I want to do a combination. I want to get back into coaching." And I said, "Okay, well, let's just keep kicking around. At any moment when you want to coach, you can always get into coaching." And so this summer she began to really, she said, I'm definitely I want to go into coaching. And I said, "Well, why don't you come be my volunteer for a year?" And then in August, she actually got a couple of offers at one of them was a Power 5 school, wanted to interview, and I was like, "Hey, just stay with me."
Focus.
I'm counting on, at this point, I'm like thinking, man, this kid can throw batting practice. She can work with my hitters. She can work with our pitchers. She can do a lot of different things. I don't want to lose her. So I talked her into not turning down the paid job and stay with me and her mom. And I said, "Look, we're going to win this year. We're going to show a lot of improvement. Our program's in really good shape to show improvement, and you'll be able to pick the job you want if you'll come here for 12 months." And she did that, and I'm really blessed that I got to spend the last 8 months with her. And my pastor at church tells me to keep, to think about, she got to come home for 8 months before she went home, and that's what I'm going to choose to do, and I'm going to choose to accept that. But I feel blessed every day that I got to spend these last few months and weeks with her, and we, not just share our home, but to share the softball field again with her was really good.
And you knew how ravenous the fans were in this community for softball. How much support and love did you receive from the Louisiana community once news of the loss came?
It's unimaginable, the support of the fans here in Louisiana and in the softball community. The wreck happened at 1 o'clock, and I don't know the exact timeline, but around 4:30, I was able to get to her car and confirm with the police that they brought me her driver's license out of the car, and we knew it was Jerry Ann, and we'd lost her. And I think around 4:30, and I walked back to the car. I'd left my wife sitting in a sugarcane field and about 15 minutes away, and I walked back to her and was able to tell her. And so then we began to think, we got to call my mom and dad. We got to let my two oldest daughters, we got to let them know. And so we got that process worked out by 6:30, and I wanted my team to know from me. I didn't want them to hear it on the radio. I didn't want them to hear they lost their coach on the news. So we got our team to the field. Dr. Maggard, he got up and helped me get that all organized. And so we told the team around 8 o'clock, and then when I walked out of the team meeting at 8:30, it was on my phone. It was like 280 texts in so I guess when it hit social media, and the outpouring of love and support from the fans here, it'll never be forgot. And I tried to answer every single text, but like last night, somebody texted me, and I realized I'd missed Myron's restaurant. Mr. Myron had texted me, and somewhere in that cloud of text, I missed a few, but I tried to answer every single one of them because I thought it was important to acknowledge their support and their love. And then I finally I said, I'm gonna answer every text for 36 hours, and then I'm turning it off. This will be about me and my family and my daughters. And I did that. But that show of support will always be appreciated and something I'll never forget. And, in the darkest of times, sometimes you learn things still that are very positive.
How are you today?
I'm good. I think you're in a place that you're not prepared to be. Nobody's ever taught you how to lose a child. And so I'm hurting bad about it, but also I'm enough of a competitor that I want my team to look good today. And the only thing I'm worried about on this game today, I don't want my kids to over-try. I don't want them to go out and try to play softball. I don't want them to go out and try to play a big game for the coach. I want them to go out there and have fun and be joyous in the fact that I get to play. All I have to do today is play softball, and then trust our training. We've got them ready. Jerry Ann had the kids hitting; they were hitting so good. The week of the rec, scores were like 9-9 and 12-7, and they were hitting home runs. We were actually at the pace. The day of the funeral, somebody sent me the stats. It was a home run every 16.5 at bats all of January, which is crazy because last year we were a home run every 70 for the whole season. So we were at a phenomenal pace, and in the last few days we slowed that. Last night it was a home run every 23 at bats for all of January scrimmages, which is still really good, So they're ready. They just gotta. I want them to trust their training. Don't try to do anything. Just trust their training and play the game. Realize how lucky we are to walk out on the field today and just play softball and play with joy and play with enthusiasm, play with passion. And that's the message I'll deliver in the locker room before the game. And likewise, as a coach, I want to do the same thing. I may be the saddest guy in the world at home when I think about Jerry Ann and the separation. But, when I get to walk out on that field today in front of 2,000 Ragin Cajun fanatics, and they're cheering for our team, and I want to be happy, and I want to be joyous, and I want to be out there with great enthusiasm, I hope.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, we take a look at the upcoming schedules for Ragin Cajuns basketball.
The 2019 Sun Belt Basketball Championships, where spirit flows, our passion shows, our pride grows, where champions rise above. At Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, presented by First Bank and Trust, it's the Sun Belt Men's and Women's Basketball Championships. Contact your local ticket office today.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin' Cajun spirit goes beyond athletics.
All this for the steakhouse bacon cheeseburger?
The smoky black pepper mayo deserve at least the full steakhouse treatment.
Very impressed.
Someone just walked in. We only have one tablecloth.
The Steakhouse Burger and Tots for only $4.99. Get them now and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Thanks for watching another episode of Inside Louisiana Basketball. I'll be leaving you with the upcoming schedules for Ragin Cajuns basketball.